Good afternoon, I'm Larissa.
And I'm Diana.
Welcome to DNL Studio.
We're here to teach you some interesting facts about tennis.
Let's get to it. Today we'll be talking about muscle groups, injuries, training, nutrition, and much more. Let's start off with Diana at the Sparrow High School tennis courts with current footage of tennis players in action.
Okay, thank you, Larissa. I'm here at the HHS courts to show you some tennis action. That's all I have for you today. Back to Larissa at the DNL studio.
Thank you, Diana. Now let's learn about some muscles. We are here with Professor Medina here to tell us a little bit more about that.
Good afternoon. I'm here to tell you about the three major strokes of tennis and how the muscles contribute. The first is the forehand stroke. The forehand stroke requires the use of the arm, shoulders, and hand. As the tennis racket makes contact with the ball, the whole body contributes with the swing. The forehand swing arm muscles are the deltoids and pectoralis major to give power to the swing. The deltoid gives the shoulder movement as the pectoralis major pulls the arm forward and across the chest. Next is the backhand stroke, which uses more of the posterior muscles unlike the forehand. The triceps brachii, deltoid, and the latissimus dorsi. The latissimus dorsi, an extensor, is a part of the posterior region that contributes in a more dynamic backhand stroke. It is responsible for pulling the shoulder downward and back. The triceps, an extensor, is the primary extensor of the elbow. It produces a more dynamic stroke because when the racket is swung, it uses the biceps to flex the forearm, and in return, the triceps extend, which give it a straight position for the racket. Last but not least is the tennis serve. The serve is very similar to the forehand stroke, but relies more on the shoulders. Serving starts with the feet as the upper body begins to prepare for the impact of the ball on the racket. The external oblique muscles are used again to reach the ball for impact with the tennis racket. The deltoid, an abductor muscle, is used when the ball is at the highest point, where the racket makes contact with the ball. The teres minor and major are extensor muscles that are used along with the deltoid. The teres major extends and adducts as it rotates the arm medially, whereas the teres minor just rotates the arm laterally. That's all for today. Back to you, Larissa.
Thank you very much, Professor. Today we have a special guest to teach us about the nutrition of tennis players. Please welcome Marissa.
Nutrition facts. Nutritional needs for a tennis player is like every healthy diet. It consists of omega-3, protein, calcium, iron to transport oxygen around the body, vitamins A and C, foods with zinc to help with hand-eye coordination. For example, oysters, pumpkin seeds, and whole grains contain zinc. Foods in high chlorine like egg yolks, tomatoes, and potatoes feed your brain's neurotransmitters and help improve reaction times.
Okay. Wow, that was interesting. We are here now also with Scott Mateer to show us some exercises.
This is Scott McTeer, and welcome to Core Strength Training for Tennis Players, Mat Exercises. Grit that a super strong core will help tennis players perform better. Master these exercises and you will have a super strong core. In addition to the rectus abdominis, you'll also work the internal and external obliques, intercostals, as well as the transversus abdominis, your core powerhouse. This workout will also strengthen the backside of your core, your lower back muscles, as well as your gluteus minimus, medius, and maximus. So get ready for a great workout. Bicycle leg extensions. Laying on your back, hands by your side, alternate extending each leg as if riding a bike. Keep your ankles flexed, bringing your knees up to your chest. Do these slow and under control.
Wow, thanks for that segment, Scott. Now before we get to injuries, let's see what our fellow Scorpions know on our new segment called What Do You Know? Do you play tennis?
No.
Do you know what tennis elbow is?
No.
Do you know what a tennis elbow is?
Elbow?
Yes.
No.
Have you ever played tennis?
Yes.
How long?
I didn't play professionally, but I played at the park one time.
How long have you been playing tennis?
I have been playing tennis for a long time.
Okay, do you know what tennis elbow is?
Yes, I do.
Can you explain it?
Tennis elbow is tendonitis. It's an inflammation of the tendon, and there are two kinds of tennis elbows. There's a tennis elbow that is this part of the elbow, and there's a tennis elbow that's on the top of the elbow. And the one on the inside of the elbow, I forget what it's called, medial tendonitis or something. It's the worst. It's the worst. So it's a very common injury in tennis.
Have you ever had it?
I have had it. I had it so bad one time, I think it's medial tendonitis, that I couldn't play for 9 months. I couldn't even squeeze a racket. It was so bad.
Now let's hear what Larissa has to say about injuries.
The common muscle injuries associated with tennis players are tennis elbows, wrist strains, ankle sprains, and tennis toe. The topmost injuries are tennis toe and tennis elbow. Tennis toe, also known as runner's toe, is a painful injury. Tennis toe is a pooling of blood under the toenail called a subneural hematoa. This is caused by repeated pressure or injury to the toe, typically the big toe. The buildup of pressure under the nail bed can be extremely painful. To treat it, a doctor will need to drain the blood, releasing the pressure. Prevention of tennis toe. To prevent tennis toe, keep toenails clipped short and make sure your shoes fit properly. Tennis elbow. Tennis elbow causes inflammation and pain in the outer portion of the elbow. This is where the tendons and the forearm muscles meet the humerus. Treatment includes much rest, pain relievers, and physical therapy. Prevention of tennis elbow includes using correct techniques and movements and overall staying in good physical shape. Rest is really important in this case. For example, like when Serena Williams was dealing with her tennis elbow, it forced her out of the Swedish Open in order to take a whole week off to recuperate.
Me too.
Thank you for joining us at DNL Studio. See you next time. Now back to you.
No, that
Nope, take that off.
Tennis players. Let's welcome. That was awkward.
You look so awkward. That was great.